Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. £25 million Arsenal player is still suffering with mystery injury ahead of Man City game. Gabriel Magalhaes has recently withdrawn from Brazilian national team duty because of a minor injury, which means he won't play against England at Wembley. That has, of course, led to some skepticism that Gabriel is protecting himself for the title race, but Charles Watts is insistent that's not the case. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Watts said the Arsenal player had suffered a genuine injury, but said elements of the issue remained a mystery. Speaking on the podcast, Watts said the Arsenal defender would never turn down a chance to play for Brazil, insisting his injury isn't being exaggerated. He explained, "It's an unspecified injury at the moment. I have been trying to find out exactly what it is, but not been able to yet. Little bit of a mystery surrounding it. But we are told it's nothing overly serious, which is obviously a good sign, but we'll wait to see exactly what it is and whether Gabriel sort of joins in with the training in the next couple of weeks." Obviously, the game against Manchester City is beginning to loom large, so it's a slight worry. This one is genuine, it's an actual injury. When you look at Gabriel, he is just trying to nail down his starting spot with the Brazil national team at the moment. He is not going to be pulling out of any games just to do his club any favors. Of course, Arsenal fans will be keeping everything crossed following Watt's injury update that Gabriel is fit for Manchester City. If there ever was any doubt, the £25 million defender has now cemented his position as a crucial player for Arsenal. Most of the world's biggest clubs would try to sign £50 million Arsenal man if he was up for sale. The majority of Europe's biggest clubs would try to sign Ben White if Arsenal ever put him up for sale. That's according to The Athletic. So what is the latest on Ben White at Arsenal? Let's take a look. Well, according to The Athletic, the England international would attract interest from most of the planet's leading clubs if he ever came close to leaving Arsenal. The information came after The Athletic explained how White teamed up with Analytics FC, a data-oriented sport consultancy, to commission a scouting report ahead of contract discussions. In Analytics FC's studies, it was even discovered that the £50 million man would suit the styles of AC Milan, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City. Clearly, Arsenal have an elite defender on their hands and made the correct call in moving quickly to renew his contract. White signed a new deal running until July 2028 last week, just hours before Gareth Southgate announced the Arsenal number 4 had turned down the chance to play for England. The recruitment at Arsenal in recent times has been superb. White is not the only player who Europe's elite clubs would pounce on if the Gunners made him available. David Ornstein recently revealed that the world's biggest clubs would also show no hesitation in moving for William Saliba if Arsenal ever put the France international up for sale. Aside from the Frenchman and White, Arsenal have also done superbly well to sign Gabriel Martinelli for just £6 million and key squad players like Takahiro Tomiyasu for £15.5 million. Both were huge bargains. Edu has worked tremendously to create a balanced squad for Mikel Arteta, and the Emirates Stadium is now a gold mine of talent, including gems in Hale End such as Ethan Nwaneri. Arsenal to compete with Newcastle for 28-year-old French international. Arsenal are keen on signing the Juventus midfielder Adrien Rabiot at the end of the season, and they will face competition from Newcastle United. A report from Tutto Juve claims that the two English clubs are mostly interested in signing the 28-year-old French international, who will be a free agent in the summer. His contract with Juventus expires in the summer of 2024, and he is unlikely to sign an extension with them. The opportunity to move to the Premier League could be an exciting challenge for Rabiot, and he could be interested at this stage of his career. Arsenal need more quality and depth in the middle of the park, and the French international would be the ideal acquisition for them. He will add defensive cover, physicality, control, and composure to the side. He could form a quality partnership with Declan Rice at the heart of the Arsenal midfield. Signing a player of his experience and quality on a free transfer would represent a major cup for the Gunners. Similarly, Newcastle need more depth in the midfield as well. It will be interesting to see if they can attract the French international without the lure of European football. Rabiot could be the ideal partner for Sandro Tonali next season, and he would help them control games better. With that said, Rabiot might want to join a big club capable of winning major trophies, and therefore Arsenal would be a more attractive destination for him. Whoever ends up signing the player will have a proven performer at a high level on their hands for a major bargain. Arsenal and Man United will need to pay €75 million for 11-goal forward. Bologna attacker Joshua Zirkzee has been linked with a move away from the Italian club, and the likes of Manchester United and Arsenal are keen on securing his services. According to a report from La Gazzetta dello Sport via Football Italia, the striker will be available for a fee of around €75 million in the summer, and it remains to be seen whether the two English clubs are prepared to pay up. Zirkzee has been in impressive form this season, scoring 11 goals and picking up 6 assists in all competitions. Arsenal could use a talented young attacker like him to lead the line for them. Gabriel Jesus has not been able to score goals consistently, and Edin Ketia has been linked with the move away from the club. Signing another striker should be a top priority for Arsenal in the summer, but the reported asking price could prove to be a problem. The 22-year-old Dutchman is undoubtedly a quality player with a big future ahead of him, but Arsenal will not want to pay over the odds. It remains to be seen whether the Italian outfit are prepared to sell him for a more reasonable price. As far as Manchester United are concerned, they need another attacker who can share the goal-scoring burden with summer signing Rasmus Højlund. Zirkzee could prove to be a long-term investment for both clubs, and he could end up justifying the outlay in the coming seasons. He has the ability to adapt to English and establish himself as a player for the two English clubs. It will be interesting to see how the situation develops over the next few months. AC Milan and Bayern Munich have been linked with the player as well, but it's highly unlikely that they will pay €75 million for him. Mikel Arteta really likes £18 million player, but Arsenal are backing off signing him. Speaking on KS1 TV, Steve Kay has been discussing some of Arsenal's transfer plans, and he says that one player who may no longer be targeted is Pedro Neto. Neto had been linked with Arsenal for a long time, and Mikel Arteta is said to be a big fan. However, due to a real build-up of injury issues in recent times, Arsenal are said to be backing away from signing Neto. Kay shared what he knows about the £18 million man. He said, "I think the Neto ship has sailed now, to be honest with you. After he sadly got a new injury to keep him out for the rest of the season, you can't go for that. No, most fans love him. Arteta loves him. He is greatly admired at Arsenal, but you can read into Edu and Arteta's head. They will back off, yeah." As much as we really like Neto as a player, it has to be said that it's not worth signing a player with his kind of injury record. Arsenal know this all too well. They've had so many talented players over the years who have been plagued by injury, such as Aaron Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, and Santi Cazorla, and they need to move away from that type of player. As the old saying goes, the best ability in football is availability, and sadly, Neto has consistently not been able to prove his fitness. Arsenal need to sign a player in this mold, but Neto isn't the player the Gunners need right now. Electric 20-year-old midfielder linked with Arsenal is statistically in better form than Declan Rice. Arsenal were primed to execute deals for Declan Rice and Kai Havertz once last summer began efficiency, which definitely helped their start at the club. And in truth, it would be a surprise if the club didn't show the same kind of planning this time around when they will perhaps try and sign a striker. However, there doesn't really seem to be an obvious candidate available despite all the talks, leading to the idea that money will be spent elsewhere. That being said, on loan Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Xavi Simons is thought to be admired at Arsenal, and the 20-year-old is absolutely thriving during his time at RB Leipzig right now, who scored shared their list of the most informed players across Europe's top 5 leagues yesterday, and surprisingly, 4 Arsenal names made the informed top 10: Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka, and Martin Odegaard in order. But above all of those names sat Xavi Simons in second place, who continued to look like an electric talent across all forward positions. Perhaps it will be hard to tempt the Dutch international away from his parent club this summer, but his form would suggest it's worth to try. Interestingly, or perhaps worryingly from an Arsenal point of view, 2 Bayern Munich players were also involved in the list, which encompassed each player's last 6 appearances. Jamal Musiala was actually in first place, a player Mikel Arteta will be very wary of heading into their Champions League quarter-final, and there is then, of course, the name that will never go away, that of Harry Kane. Clearly, Arsenal's tie with Bayern will be a meeting of 2 of Europe's top teams right now, a match-up which really could go either way. Arsenal have sent loads of scouts to watch unstoppable player recently. Arsenal's hunt for a new striker in recent times has been highly publicized. The Gunners have been linked with a number of new centre forwards in recent times, but as of late, Victor Gyökeres has emerged as one of the main names that has been discussed. Indeed, the Swedish striker has often been discussed as a potential target for Arsenal, and it sounds as though they are really stepping up their efforts when it comes to monitoring the Sporting striker. According to Steve Kay, speaking on KS1 TV, Arsenal are having a real serious look at Gyökeres, claiming that scouts have been sent to watch the striker at least 5 times recently. Kay shared what he knows about the striker. He said, Arsenal scouts have been watching him on a number of occasions, at least 5 times. They watched him again at the weekend. I was given that information, so I kept an eye on that game and how he did. The guy scored a hat-trick. He is a beast. If anyone hasn't seen this guy, just watch him. He is massive. He is strong. He is unstoppable. He has everything. The pace of the man is unreal. This is very exciting to hear. The fact of the matter is that Arsenal wouldn't send numerous scouts to watch a player 5 times if they weren't interested in signing him. These days, you can do plenty of due diligence on a player via data, easily accessible match footage and statistical analysis, but the fact that Arsenal have sent scouts to watch Gyökeres in the flesh multiple times, then there must be a strong level of interest there. Arsenal will be looking to sign a new striker this summer, and Gyökeres may well be the man they turn to Rhodes as they look to add a new dynamic to their attack. Arsenal now the likeliest club to sign £63 million striker likened to Thierry Henry. Arsenal have been heavily linked with the Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak in recent months, and speculation only seems to be intensifying of late. For instance, journalist Simon Collins recently spoke about how the Gunners have already scouted the 24-year-old and seemingly done a lot of the groundwork. Now Give Me Sport have reported that Arsenal now appear to be the most likely suitors to actually get a deal for Isak over the line. The outlet also cites sources claiming that Newcastle fear the prospect of their star striker, generating extensive interest throughout the summer. Throughout the campaign, there has been plenty of speculation linking Arsenal with an out-and-out number 9, a type of a player they currently don't have. Although the Gunners have a strong front line that has been scoring plenty this season, none of their players look like the kind that can routinely get 20 plus a season. There have been links between Arsenal and the likes of Ivan Toney and Victor Gyökeres as well, but now this report suggests the Gunners are likely to get a move for Isak over the line. The Sweden international has been one of the Premier League's most consistent performers since his arrival at St James Park in a £63 million deal in 2022. Isak broke into double figures for Newcastle in his maiden season, bagging 10 goals despite being injured for much of the first half of the campaign this season. The 24-year-old has gone from strength to strength in black and white, with 16 goals from 30 outings in all competitions. Isak is a top talent who ticks all the boxes and would be a great shot for the Gunners. He is tall, he is strong, he is fast, and he is an incredible finisher. Arsenal have needed a player to spearhead their attack for some time now, and Isak would be just the man for the job. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.